Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulil Kareem. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Takaful online course. And today we'll be talking about the terminology used in Takaful, meaning the most popular terms used in Takaful, and we'll be providing short explanations and a brief description on each one of them. And the reason being is that these terms will be crossing them throughout the course of Takaful. So it is better to have a kind of a brief explanations, at least to be in one hand familiar with this term. On the other hand, we know briefly their explanations. And when we come to some related terms during the course of this Takaful, we will zoom a bit, we will dive a bit to their concept, depends on the related discussions in each topic. So let's start by having this overall understanding about the terminology. And we will start with the term, of course, of Takaful. And we have been covering Takaful in the last previous sessions, but just to recap, Takaful is a kind of a coming together by participants subscribing to Takaful operators based on the concept of tabarru or donations, whereby regular contributions would be provided based on a binding commitment by the participants with the objectives to have a mutual responsibility and meeting some particular desire in the protections, investments, and saving, whereby in a case of unforeseen circumstances or any members encounters harms, injuries, accidents, and so on and so forth, would be compensated by this pool through the Takaful operator, who will assume the position of an agent based on the term and conditions that has been agreed upon in the policy. So this is in overall descriptions of the Takaful. Let's go through the other terms, and the other terms we will cover them according to the alphabetic order. Some of them we may describe them briefly, some of them a bit deeper. It depends on the term, but we keep it short because the objective is just to highlight the term and describe it briefly, so to be familiar with these terms in this course. And of course, as I mentioned, when the opportunity comes again throughout the course, we will provide details explanation on them. The next point, the second item second term is basically certificate document. Certificate document is a kind of evidence of a contract or the agreements between the policyholder and the Takaful operators, which there are set of terms and conditions have been set in that particular certificate. So it's a kind of certificate, and this normally certificate, it is attached with the policy. So normally you will get the certificate documents attached with the policy. This is regarded as an evidence to the engagements between the policyholder or the member and the Takaful operator. And in these documents, along with the certificate, there are some kind of terms and the condition agreed upon, the features of the policy, the amount of contributions, the kind of risk, the type of risk, and so on and so forth will be provided in this kind of document. So this is the certificate document. The item number 3, or the term number 3, is the claim. And the claim basically is a kind of notification to a Takaful operator that payments of a specific amount is due to one of the participants based on the term and condition of the certificate. It could be also understood as a kind of a formal request by the participant or the policyholder to a Takaful operators to cover or for coverage or compensations for a specific event or loss, whereby the Takaful operators will be providing a kind of payment and compensation to the policyholder. So again, a claim is a kind of request by the policyholder to the Takaful operators seeking compensation, seeking payment. And this one, within the terms and conditions agreed upon, within the guidelines of the policy that has been agreed upon, and this is based on specific terms and conditions, meaning that evidence should be provided and a due diligence from the Takaful operators should be performed, and if everything is in order, so basically the Takaful operator will pay the claim. So again, claim is an amount, is a monetary value, it is an amount to be paid by the Takaful operator, but normally the claim comes based on a request. So the accident happened, the event happened, the unforeseen circumstances, the injuries, the accidents happen, then a policyholder will file a request to the Takaful operators to process that kind of payment. So this is the claim. The other term, which is the term number 4, is basically the term contributions. Contributions is known in the conventional insurance as well as a premium. Contribution is a monetary contributions, meaning it is a money provided once a year or in a periodical basis. It depends on the nature, of course, of the policy. It depends of the nature of the product, the type of Takaful we are talking about. But contribution is a kind of a regular payment, regular payments contributed by the Takaful, by the participant, by the policyholder to the pool, to the risk fund, to the pool, to the Takaful operators in order to sustain their policy. Because if you don't have this kind of regular contributions, so the policy may elapse. Then the policy may be deactivated as a result of that kind of default, because regular payments or regular contributions should be performed by the members, by the policyholder to the Takaful pool in order to sustain their policy and to keep their policy active. And also it is a kind of a common undertaking by every member, by every policyholder, where each one has a binding undertaking, a binding commitment to keep giving this donation or these contributions on a regular basis to the Takaful operators in order for the fund to sustain, in order to the wakil, who is the Takaful operators, to keep having a proper management on the fund and keep serving the interests of the policyholders according, of course, to the terms and conditions agreed upon. And these, of course, contributions, as far as the Sharia interpretation is concerned, is a form of tabarru. Of course, we will have in the future a discussion on the underlying Sharia contract. Then we zoom in details on this concept, the tabarru, and the different Sharia ruling pertaining to this. But as I mentioned, these sessions, its objective is just to pick up the term and provide a general description on it to have a better understanding. By those terms may come again as a specific session for coming topics. So this is the what's called the contributions. The term number 5 is basically general takaful. Of course, general takaful is a segment within the takaful itself, because takaful will be divided, as we are going to see in details, into general takaful and family takaful. So general takaful is one of the pillars, basically, of Takaful operators. And this general Takaful has also specific product, similar to the family Takaful, has a specific products. Each Takaful, basically, operators will present a specific product either under general or family. Previously, even in Malaysia, we used to have what's called the composite license, whereby the Takaful operators can provide general Takaful and family Takaful, but the composite license has been stopped. Now we have Takaful operators who provide only general Takaful products. On the other hand, we have Takaful operators who only provides what's called a family product, but no more composite license, whereby one single Takaful operators will provide general Takaful product in family Takaful product. So this one represents one of the segment and important and big divisions in the Takaful industry and in the structure of the Takaful operator as well. So again, general Takaful is a protections to the participant, is a kind of products offered to the participants which protect the participants for those risks arising from accidents of fires, flood, liability, burglaries, and so on and so forth. And it is more on the related to the assets such as buildings, towers, houses, and so on and so forth, because it is more related to the fire and some other accidents as well. On the other hand, we will see later on the other segment which is more related to what's called the Takaful family. So this is the first 5 items or terms that's used in Takaful, which are first the term of Takaful, number 2 the certificate documents, and number 3 the claim, number 4 contributions, and number 5 the general Takaful. We stop here and see you inshallah in the next sessions, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.